Just a bloke in a bar.
How was the weekend anyway? How'd your boys pull up?
Pretty rough.
Pretty rough?
Yeah. It's good hit out.
Good hit out?
Yeah. Good hit
It was a good turnout.
Good turnout.
Turnout.
Good turnout.
I didn't know you knew that many people, I'll be honest. Like,
Really?
Look, I'm
you
a
didn't think I
fan.
knew that many people?
I'm a fan. You know I'm a fan.
I know you're a fan.
But fucking, that's a lot of people.
You don't reckon I can move and shake?
There's a lot of big swinging dicks in there.
Yeah, there's a couple. Couple of big dicks in the room, man. Couple of big willies floating around.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Well,
Yeah, okay, I wasn't there for the end bit.
yeah, but there's a couple of people there where I reckon you go, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
you'd be hogged up.
The way they move, they just got that swagger about them.
Yeah. Well, they've got that movement about them.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Unbalanced.
Yeah. Tripod sort of stuff. You know.
Standing there leaning forward. You're like, well,
Yeah, you know
how
what I'm
you-
talking about.
How are you looking like Michael Jackson right now when he does the moonwalk?
Oh, it's not even it's when he like leans. To
Oh,
the
yeah,
side.
sorry, the side, but to the
side.
front.
Yeah, but to the front. Well, it's because I've got a tripod. Keep up. Not me. Other people.
So if they're a close talker, it's usually because they're a tripod.
That's right. That's right. Because they're laying in India.
They don't want to be there, because their body is leaning towards
That's
you.
right. And they're just taking a breather. But it was a good hit out. It was a great celebration of rosé.
It was. The greatest rosé in all the land.
That's right.
Yeah. That's the general consensus I got when I was there.
Well, that's what everyone's saying. I think people were surprised at how good it tastes. Because people, I think, were like, mate,
Dribblers.
Just going, these guys are fucking dribblers
Yeah,
and they don't
yeah.
know what they're doing. And I reckon they're peddling shit. Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're wrong, bruh.
Yeah. No.
We don't skimp on quality. It's not what
also-
I do. It's not what I'm about.
Like this age-old myth that you've got to be in a family of wine makers for thousands of years to be able to create a good wine. It's the people drinking the wine that know a good wine.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. For example, winemakers think that, and I'm not having a crack here.
You're in the industry now too.
I'm in the industry, so I can. I know what I'm talking about. There are some winemakers that think it doesn't matter if you sell a red or like a dark pink, a red rosé. I go, listen here, bro. You might be able to sit down and convince me that chemically it doesn't matter. But you don't know how to sell jack shit if you think you can peddle a dark red rosé to the masses.
Yeah.
It needs to be light pink.
Okay.
And it's as simple as that.
Okay.
So if you try to sell red rosé, you're in big trouble. Huge trouble. You can't be in every store going, I swear it tastes good.
It's not scalable.
It's not scalable.
You could do it at one store maybe. Convince a few dribblers.
Mate, like, are you going to every store in the country at once? Are you Father Christmas now?
It does taste like it.
Yeah.
It tastes
There's no difference. Well, why are they different colours, bro? So it is light pink, mine. And Tom's, who's not here because he's sick again.
Yeah.
What are we up to? 12 times this year?
Honestly,
He'd be keeping track with once a month, wouldn't he?
he's in breach of an imaginary contract. If there was a contract,
Yeah, he'd
sick
be in
days,
breach of it.
He breached it about 6 months ago.
Well, put it this way. Maddie might be able to look this up. Do you get 8?
It's 8. And then
He's used them and then some.
I think he used that in the first fucking 6 weeks.
Jeez,
And we don't even have 8 shows.
He would have gone close.
don't even have 8 shows.
No, we don't. We don't do 8 shows in 6 weeks.
He's still fucking.
That's how sick he's been. That's how fucking sick he's been.
Oh, far out.
But that's why he's not here. So obviously I'm manning the ship again. I'm happy to do so.
Yeah. You always turn up. Very rarely sick. I do want to say, you know what would be funny with the Big Day Rosé Day? Big Day Rosé Day.
Yep. Pink party.
Pink Party. Is if you like treat it like a Cairns festival, like a Cairns Film Festival. And you got everyone to like applaud for how good the rosé was for however many minutes. And you could stand up the front and be like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. What? So you basically like set it up so that I get a standing ovation.
Exactly.
I've never had one.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a standing ovation?
Well, a standing ovation, we have to define what it is, because if someone stood up to celebrate a try, I don't think that's the same
That's not
as
a
a standing
standing
ovation.
that's not a standing
Even though technically they are standing and ovating.
They are technically standing and they are ovating. I understand that. I consider a standing ovation more like, maybe the Tigers are up 8-4 in a trial game and the players are going to the sheds and the crowd stand as one and to celebrate them.
Yeah, okay.
Because the thing about emotion, Denon, is that we succumb to them.
Yeah.
And so if someone scores a sick try, you're up and about.
Yeah,
you can't help it.
You can't control it.
Whereas a standing ovation, I think, is more considered.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. You've had time to think about it. You've all decided to do it. There's no like emotion has clouded the decision.
That's right. You may be in a state of emotion to a degree, but you're far more rational. You've decided, along with the masses, that what you've done is worthy of consideration.
Like 8-4 in a trial match.
Exactly like that. Exactly.
Let us know in the comment section, what is a standing O? I like to call them standing O's.
So do I. I'm a big fan of the standing O. But have you, like, I've never been lucky enough.
Have you given a standing O?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I've given a standing O.
I tell you what, standing O's are interesting, actually. I went to see this pianist once. Because I'm pianist? Because I'm cultured.
You are cultured. I'll give you that.
And the bloke got one of the great standing O's all time.
Really?
To the point where I was like, we need to wrap this up. Because
my
my hands are fucking sore as shit.
Okay.
But people there were like losing it. Like losing it with this standing O. It probably went for 10 minutes.
I feel like
mate, that sounds like a long time, I know. It was definitely over 5.
In those
definitely
circles, they do that. I feel like they're trying to outdo each other with who's the most appreciative.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you like followed the dude home standing O, like so you could be the guy that gave the most standing O to him?
Can you look up longest standing O all time? I think it might have been Joseph Stalin got a ripper.
What?
Like hours long, and they basically stand there, and they're like, people that stop clapping, you might be taken around the back.
Get the longest standing O, but then also get like the longest real, like passionate, actual real standing O.
Yeah, not a gunpoint standing O.
Because that's just like.
But I am still interested to know what that number was.
One man holds the historical record for the longest standing ovation of all time. Guillermo del Toro received a mind-bending 22 minutes of applause for his 2006 film Pan's Labyrinth. 22 minutes.
22 minutes?
22.
Where at? Was that at like Sundance or something?
Like, Cairns Film Festival.
Cairns. It was at Cairns.
It was at Cairns.
Yeah.
22 minutes?
22 minutes.
What? That is fucking insane.
That's like more than a quarter of the movie.
22 minutes?
Oh, it can't be that good. Come on. It can't be that good.
You should almost put a timer in now and just let it run for the rest, like up to 22 minutes.
Hey, Matty, could you? You know what? I'll put a timer on the phone, and we'll say when the 22 minutes is up, because that is fucking out. No, look, I've seen some good films in me time.
Can I tell you something? Yep. That is absolutely outrageous.
22 minutes. Do you reckon he went home and just fucking jacked himself all night long, going, "I'm the man"?
Yeah, I think he would have been
in a mirror, just in a mirror. Just going fucking 22 minutes.
You wouldn't be able to come back down to earth after that, I don't think.
That I go back and I've gone in a full rabbit hole of watching SAS Who Dares Win. But it started, there's this YouTube Australian one where they trial to join the Special Forces. Ironically, with the Australian one, so what they did, like the YouTube, it's a great YouTube, and I got 1,000 links for the Rome documentary, so you're welcome everyone that I sent that to, which is a great documentary. But the SAS one, what they do is on YouTube for the Australian one. So the SAS Who Dares Win, it's an English one initially, first 5 seasons. And then I think the guy's Ant Middleton, he came to Australia, he does a celebrity one now. Anyway, the Australian one's a different one. Anyway, so they get you like emotionally invested in all these different guys as they're going along the course. And it's a hectic course, like so hectic. But then what happens is, right at the end, all dudes that you don't know make it, because you're not allowed to know who's in the freaking Special Forces or the SAS. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, damn it, I don't know who won it. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's a real entry course. Yeah, so it's not just like so basically all these guys are already in the army, I'm pretty sure. Then they get I guess they go to the trial for the army.
Yeah.
Whereas the SAS Who Dares Win, which is a great show, especially the first few seasons. Holy shit, it's good. I cannot stop watching it. Like I started like 3 days ago. I'm already in season 4.
Do you frothing?
I froth it so hard. Anyway, so that one, it's weird because they go through all this craziness 9 days. And then at the end of the 9 days, they're like, all right, you passed the test, but you don't join anything. You just go back to normal life.
And that's it.
But
you know you've passed.
But the problem is that the 9 days, SAS or Special Force entry courses are actually weeks and weeks. And on top of that, you don't know when it's going to end. So I'm pretty sure when the real ones that you do, they condense it down to 9 days when you do, like, for example, we did one, I did 3 or 4 at the Broncos, one at the Dragons, and then, yeah. And they were like telling us stories of guys. So you enter the course, it goes for, you don't know how long. So it could go for fucking 3 or 4 weeks. They were telling us stories of guys that literally, a bloke he was a gun. The man led everything, killed it. They were like, mate, this is the fucking one. This is the one. They've been weeks into it. We're talking sleep deprivation in deserts, dropped in the middle of fucking nowhere, said, get out of it. 5 minutes before it's ending, the guy walks up, says, I'm done. Voluntary withdrawal. Anyway, the SAS guy goes, and this is the guy on the Broncos camp was telling me that this happened. Yeah. They go, mate, I want you to go sit over there for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Because the camp, for 4 minutes or whatever it was, the camp was going to end that like very, very soon. And go and fucking think about what you're doing and then come back to me and tell me if you want to do it. He came back a few minutes earlier, said, no, I'm out. Boom, they ended the course a few minutes later.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Wow, you would live with crazy regret.
Oh my God.
You would live with crazy regret.
Like, we're talking weeks and weeks on end of just getting, like, living outside with a sleeping bag, fucking leeches all over you, pack marching all day long.
My cup of tea.
But I recommend, if you can find it, because you have to go deep into the web to find the first 5 seasons of SAS Who Dares Wins. I have to go on like Daily Motion to watch it.
You have gone deep.
Yeah, so deep. And also, I missed out on the season 4. The last episode's freaking missing. Anyway, so I got to see. Anyway, season 1 to 5 is mad because it's like, yes, it's for TV, but this was before you had to be really like, celebrity is a little bit different because it's fucking super hard. But obviously, there's a certain level. They can't go. I'm sure they don't do that with the real special forces.
No way. Half the celebrities fucking on the Australian one, half of them leave the first day.
Which is fair. I understand because it's fucking tough.
Yeah, but like...
First day. It gets tough.
Yeah, but what, first hour, first day? You know what I mean? I'm probably a day 2 sort of guy, I reckon.
I would love to know the SAS guys how different it is. Is it just more elongated? Is it more fitness? You know what I mean?
There'd be an answer.
Yeah.
Get this Ant Middleton bloke on the blah.
Ant, if you're there, mate,
if you're a fan, yeah,
come on the potty, bro.
Come on the potty. There you go.
Potty, Ant.
And if you want to see Beak on next season of SAS,
no, don't do that.
Write something in the
It's already a no.
Put it in the comments.
What about you? What are you and Eddy? Are you and Tommy?
Me and Tommy go on there?
Yeah.
Nah.
Put it in the comments if you want you and Tommy. But great show though.
Great show.
Great fucking show. It's, you know what?
Not an ad.
It's one of the last. It's not an ad, but it's one of the last bastions of like close to reality TV.
Yeah, I'd go along with that.
You know, because like they're actually doing things that are super hard and super uncomfortable, and they're getting filmed doing it.
Yeah.
Whereas like a lot of other reality TV, it's like.
Well, I think when the Honey Badger was asked to throw down with a woman, you were like, oh, okay, this is like, this is pretty fucking. They're not hiding much.
Yeah,
they're not holding much back here.
What would you do in that situation,
mate? I would feel very uncomfortable doing it. Very uncomfortable.
Wouldn't you? Just...
and to be honest, I'd probably get fucking flogged by whoever he was fighting, to be honest. Like, I probably would.
Actually, they were athletes on that.
It's not about me getting flogged. It's just about, like, you're brought up with,
so
you've got to overcome, like, a very strong...
Well, being taught not to hit women.
That's all you ever hear, right? And it's, like, all you've ever known.
Yeah.
So then to go against it would feel strange.
Very strange.
It'd be very hard to do that. And also you're thinking, fuck, this is going on telly. Like, I don't
want to be a part of this.
I don't want to be a part of this. It makes me very uncomfortable. But like us, I'd probably just go out there and try and fucking drop the hands.
See if the chin. I'll tell you what, you don't need much
pressure. Put the chin out and maybe just go to sleep. Problem solved.
Mate, they were athletes on that, so they'd be able to...
Fucking
You don't need much pressure. Could you find out the pressure on your chin that you need to get knocked out? It's actually not as much as people think. It's like not much at all.
Mate, I'm more than aware that there's a lot of women out there that could knock me out.
But yeah, it's speaking of blokes that...
what a little...
Alex Volkanovski, 11 days notice. He is going to rematch Islam Makhachev for the 155 world title after Charles Oliveira pulled out. Now, to put this into perspective, before he fought Islam, everyone was like, Islam is the boogeyman of the 155 division. No one's beating him. Undefeated. Islam is so...
Can't be done.
Can't be done. Islam is so big, he barely makes 155. Alex Volkanovski, if he wanted to, could make 135. He's a small 145er. He's doing this on 11 days' notice in Abu Dhabi. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in his home backyard, pretty much.
Mate, he's off his fucking head. Like, this guy is unbelievable.
Get him on SAS Celebrity.
Mate, he'd kill it. It wouldn't be fair. You'd be like, what am I even watching this show for? I know who's going to win. Like, it'd just be a complete waste of fucking time. Like, he would be too good. Islam was just talking all that mad shit before the first fight, going, he doesn't know what he's up against. He doesn't know my strength. And then at the end of the fight, Volk's on top of him, pounding the shit out of him. And now Islam knows his strength. He's a different kettle of fish, this bloke. I can't say for sure. Like, part of me is like, if he's just taking this on 11 days' notice he must be in relatively good nick.
He's always in good nick.
But I wonder if he has gone, what's the fight that I want the most that I'm not up for next? That if there's a pullout, I'll get put in, is probably an Islam fight. So maybe he would have stayed ready in case Oliveira pulled out.
And I think also Volk's but I got the feeling after the last fight, Islam doesn't want the rematch.
Correct.
So I
think that he's like, this is my opportunity.
Only chance. Yes. This is my only chance. But what's crazy is he had fucking surgery 3 months ago. 12 weeks.
So what's happened? Where's he at with that? Like, he must be recovered, obviously.
He must be recovered. But 12 weeks ago, he had surgery I'm pretty sure. Could you check on what it was? I think it was like a wrist and he's going to get in the ring, in the octagon with Islam Makhachev in Abu Dhabi. Like,
in 11 days?
In 11 days.
Next Sunday? It's annoying because the card starts at 5 a.m.
He's going to get up early and do it. He's not even going to get sleep in.
No, he's got to get up early. It's 5 a.m. He's got to get up at 5 a.m.
Well, earlier.
He's got to get up at like 3 a.m.
At like 3 to go and fight a beast in Islam. I mean, fair enough if you get a sleep in.
Yeah. Seriously. Because he's such a proud New South Welshman that he only obeys the New South Wales clock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is 3 a.m. he's getting up, probably earlier, probably 2 a.m. Maybe 1 a.m.
No matter where he is in the world, he gets up in New South Wales time.
100% he does. And he's been forced to get up at 1 a.m. to fight. He's probably fighting 7 a.m. So he's got to be up at least 1 a.m.
At least 1 a.m.
He loves his state, dude. He loves his state.
UFC 290, it was after that where he had to get surgery on his arm, and that was in July.
Alex, if he wins this, Denon, if he wins...
I want to see his head on a coin.
If he isn't given the fucking keys to the city by that prick down there that doesn't get it...
Vote him out.
He needs to be, like, kicked out.
Like, are we talking like full coup style?
I'm talking find an old bathtub, put him in it, and
if Volkswagen leads a coup against the mayor of Wollongong, I'm behind Volks.
I'm behind it, 100%, because it's absolutely outrageous. If he wins, Denon, it'll just be one of the great mornings of my life.
Oh, mate. If he wins, I know you got John Jones and
fuck
for
him.
me, he's the GOAT.
Fuck him.
I don't care if it's Aussie bias. I don't care. He's probably already my GOAT, but if he wins, he's definitely my GOAT. Seriously. And I know John Jones has got this crazy record over so many years, and you got Anderson Silva, GSP. I don't care. He's the GOAT if he wins.
Sorry.
I said it.
Sorry.
And I'm a casual. Call me, you're a fucking casual. Say it. I don't give a shit. I still think he's a GOAT.
Sorry, bro. He's the GOAT. He's the pound for pound champ at the moment.
Number one, I'm pretty sure, ranked pound for pound in the world.
He goes up, beats Islam on 11 days' notice. Give him that GOAT status. Give it to him. Hand it over. And who would be more deserving? And who would be a better GOAT, really, for the sport? Like, let's be fair income if we can for a moment.
Yeah.
The GOAT we've got right now isn't a great guy.
He's, definitely not a good guy.
He's not a good guy. In fact, he's a huge pig, and he's a bit of a problem. Whereas Volkanovski...
You can get around all of him.
Hey, what better champion for the sport than the nicest guy in it?
I don't have to say, just talking about his fighting every time
I'm
I say I
sick of
like
saying
him.
that.
I'm sick of saying that shit.
It's
about
annoying.
fighters.
Yeah, but you got to respect him as a fighter. All that other shit,
not too good. I don't want to say that about fighters anymore. I just want to say I like him.
Because fighting is like, it's almost in a fight with itself, because sometimes you've got these champions that are just, they live up to like what people that don't like the sport think of people that fight in it.
Yeah.
Whereas Volkanovski...
All round.
he can heal this. He can heal us. Heal us all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating as a fight fan going, just as a fight fan, just a fighter. I really like him, just as a fighter. You don't have to do that with you. Matter of fact, how many seconds around the world together is he saving by becoming the best in the world?
7 seconds.
He's
saving time. He's saving time and apologies that I shouldn't have to be making.
Because it's given, of course.
I don't fucking know John Jones. I'm apologising for him. Not apologising, but like prefacing?
Prefacing me saying I like him as a fighter.
Yes.
Just as a fighter, though. I don't like him outside.
Don't want to do it.
Also, reports. Michael Maguire has agreed to be New South Wales. Actually, before we get into it, Bloke Lager is on promotion in all IGA liquor stores in New South Wales. Use IGA liquor store locator to find your nearest IGA. Take advantage of this while the offer lasts. That's right, every single IGA liquor store in New South Wales, Bloke Lager on special. If you're not in New South Wales, we're in Celebrations, IGA, Liquor Legends. I mean, you name it. Bottle-O, get in, grab a case of Bloke beer, give her a try. It's a beautiful, beautiful beer. Now, reports are Michael Maguire has agreed to be New South Wales Blues coach next season.
I heard that this morning. Read it on the car ride in.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't using my phone in the car, so don't fucking pin me for that. Listen, Denon, last week we came on the show and I must admit we were all a little bit like, who the fuck's going to coach now? Sometimes, listen, Freddie was criticised, right? People were asking for his head. Sometimes I think it takes a strong person to go, you know what, I need to go for a quick breather and just rethink this whole thing. I just need to think about it for a second and just run scenarios through my head. A scenario like if Freddie was to leave, who would replace him? Maybe a scenario like that. Because we're calling for him to get sacked.
Yeah.
Okay, let's walk this through. He leaves, then what? And then we would have started going, okay. Yep. Okay, yep, sure. Matty doesn't want to do it, does he? We've asked him a couple of times. No Matty Johns. No Andrew.
And his whole coaching staff is basically all your former legends.
No Badiris? Okay, no Badiris. Right, sure. Okay. Greg Alexander's gone. Interesting.
Gregor also decided to leave as well.
Yep. So who we got? Who the fuck have we got? We don't have anyone. That's the long and the short of it. Positives. We look for positives here. Would Michael Maguire be my first choice? No, he wouldn't have. Has he won a comp? Yes, he has. Was that a long time ago? Yes, it was.
Be a decade when next year.
But it's still, you can still see a decade. You can still see it.
Yeah.
Ask Matty.
Ask Matty. Ask Rabbitohs fans.
Ask Matty. He can still see it.
Oh, yeah.
He can still see it. Ask fucking Sam Burgess. He can see it.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. There is also, I mean, is it good form coming off a Tigers job into this? Is that like a good form line?
And he's the current Kiwis coach.
Let go of the Tigers into, I don't know how that form line works. And then he's the current Kiwis coach. Obviously, they're both part-time roles, so it's not going to affect it. But it's weird.
That's weird. It's weird.
Sort of a bit weird. But it's a little bit weird.
In Madge's defence, Wayne was the assistant Kiwis coach.
Yep.
And he also helped England as well.
I thought he was the full-time coach for England. Was he not?
Yeah, actually, was he? Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So
sure
there is precedent.
There's precedent. I don't see that as being a big deal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like
because he's a New South Wales.
Origin start of the year ends in early July or late June, and then the tests are like October, November.
So you don't see that you don't think him concentrating all 12 months just on the New South Wales role is an issue?
I don't know if you need to.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need to. Like, and maybe you do. Like, but then you ask yourself, Freddie wanted 12 months, then they didn't give it to him. So obviously there's people in New South Wales Rugby League that don't think that 12 months is necessary. You'd have to think that.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Because if your job, right, if you're on the board of New South Wales Rugby League, one of your big jobs, not the biggest, but one of your big jobs is winning Origin. And you would think that you'd leave no stone unturned. If they're of the opinion that you don't need 12 months to win an Origin, like, sure. Does fucking Billy work 12 months a year?
I think The reason why 12 months, and just so everyone knows, we've just hit 22 minutes. That's how long that standing ovation worked.
It's too long.
That's too long. I don't care how good the
People's hands would have been bleeding.
Ridiculous. I don't care how good a movie is. It's not worth that.
What's it called? Pan's Labyrinth.
Which is considered a classic.
I haven't even seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but
I've heard it.
It's
I've heard the term Pan's Labyrinth.
a lot of fucking social climbers.
Yeah, a lot of fuckwits in the room. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, look,
am I shocked that it happened at Cannes?
Not really.
No.
Not really. Which is...
I also like the pronunciation Cairns.
When I was over in, we were in France, went to Nice, which is just down the road from Cairns, and we didn't get time to get down again. I was like, I want to go where all the fucking standing O people are. I didn't get to do it.
Was Nice nice?
Because Nice was nice, but if I had gone down to Cairns,
To Standing O Town.
maybe I would have felt the fucking vibe and be like, oh, now I get the fucking standing.
Do you reckon there's a plaque down there commemorating the moment?
the 22 minutes?
It'd have to be.
Surely.
Surely there is.
And anytime someone walks over it, the standing O starts again for 22 minutes, like an audio of it.
I wouldn't mind trying to get a world record for a standing O. I reckon I could do one for 23 minutes to try to get a record.
To get the record?
How many people would we need?
To do the standing O?
Yeah. And what would we do it for?
Well, Big Day Rosé next year. It's a great ad.
23 minutes standing O, longest in history.
Get all the mates that come last year, come again, and just drink it and just go.
Yeah, drink and clap. That's all I need you to do. Drink and clap, and there's a fucking case for you. All free.
A free case.
Yeah.
A free
Stand and
case.
clap. That's a fucking great idea, Dennis. You're an ideas man. Now, Michael Maguire, you were saying about Billy Slater.
So I think you can coach the side in less than 12 months. But I think that the bigger, broader picture is that you would want them to be coached 12 months a year to be getting around to like communities and then junior stuff and just like building the love for New South Wales. And I think that's what...
And you think that's the coach's, of course.
I think it is his role. I think that's what should be part of your role as a Queensland coach is connecting back with the community, whether it's, country, city, whatever it is. And if you're only doing it for 5 months, do you lose that kind of... what Freddie... Because I think people forget. Obviously, you got the results on the field with 3 series wins, 50% win rate, which is the second most of any coach, essentially. But people forget, at this point in time when Freddie took over, and I'm not saying this disrespectfully as a Queenslander, but like New South Wales had almost fell out of love with Origin and New South Wales as a state. Like there wasn't that connection to the team like there was, maybe 20 years ago. Rightly so, because there were so many losses. What Freddie did was get that excitement back into New South Wales Rugby League, in my opinion, outside looking in. And so my concern is that if you don't have someone for 12 months and it's just a smash and grab job to a degree where you come in, you win or lose Origin, and then you go again, do we lose everything that Freddie built over such a long period of time? So much blood, sweat and tears put into building the hype up for New South Wales again.
Yeah, I completely agree. The problem with Michael Maguire, and listen, I don't know him for a bar of soap. It's just, this is a vibe thing, punters and dribblers. I don't feel that this bloke bleeds fucking blue. Like he doesn't feel like a fucking man that loves his state. He might, but do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like you're like Billy, fucking all that bush poetry. He loves Queensland. Big Mouth fucking loves Queensland. Fatty Vorton loves Queensland. Like all these guys, that loved it. But you knew Freddie loved Queensland. You knew Freddie loved New South Wales. You knew Ricky Stewart loved New South Wales.
Yeah.
Like, do I know that Michael Maguire loves...
Do you think that's because he didn't play for New South Wales, to my understanding? And you need a former player?
It's almost like these guys that I've just mentioned, they almost just fucking say it all the time. Every time there's a mic on them, they're saying something to that effect.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They're vocal about it.
Where I've never really heard Michael Maguire talk about New South Wales.
Never.
Yeah. It's a fair
Never.
point. And maybe he has and we haven't seen the interview, but just generally.
But you know what I'm trying to say? That's just a
get
vibe.
it.
And I could 100% be wrong. But that's, I think, why when he was announced and I read it today, I was a bit like, ugh. Because obviously he's got runs on the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the man can fucking coach. Like obviously he can. He's won a
look
premiership.
Look at the Tigers right now. Like everyone put shit on him at the Tigers, and there were a lot of things that I definitely disagreed with what Michael Maguire did at the Tigers. But at the end of the day, it's a shit show without him at the moment.
Correct. And they've got a better side.
Which could you imagine Michael Maguire with this current side?
100%. So
like, he's probably making finals.
The bloke can coach, without question. It's more for me when I saw it. I'm like, I don't even like. Do you? Where's New South Wales for you personally?
Well,
That's just what that was my first impression.
You could even say like, were you even aware? Like, as in,
if he was from fucking Western Australia,
exactly,
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. Look, I think that he wouldn't have been my first choice if you had heaps of choices. But of the choices, no, like, and
I know exactly.
I'm not saying that disrespectfully.
No.
Like if there's Freddie, Joey, you know, Danny Badiris, all these legends. Like obviously, not obviously, but I would lean towards.
He wouldn't get the job.
But at the end of the day, he's a premiership winning coach. He's been in coaching now for 10, 15 years, like in top grade coaching. So he's got a lot of runs on the board with his current. My only concern with Michael Maguire is that two things. He absolutely is passionate. So you know he's going to be able to at least get the boys up for one series. But how does the longevity of it look? I'm not sure, because I guess the concern at Rabbitohs was he got the boys up for those 2 years and then it just went, didn't go well after that. And then the second one is how flexible is he with the modern day athlete? Because he is so old school, so like, this is the way I'm doing it. Now, he may have changed and you could maybe look to the Kiwi camp and you could see, to my understanding, the New Zealand players love him. So that may be a sign of he has adapted or...
Yeah.
Again, this is outside looking in. I've never been coached by Michael Maguire, so it's just pure speculation. The positive is you're not going to get a bloke more passionate about rugby league. Like, he loves it. Like, if you go back and watch that Tiger Town doco, you can tell how much he loves it.
Yeah.
He's also not going to let standards slip. So you're not going to get... I don't think he is going to select players that don't deserve the jersey. I think he's going to have quite high standards for the jersey.
Yes.
He's going to be quite ruthless, I think, in expectations of players in the jersey.
Yep.
It's just about finding the balance between... It's good to do that with the players that aren't all superstars, but sometimes superstars, you need to massage their ego a little bit and give a bit of grey area to them.
Yep.
And so I think that's probably going to be his biggest challenge. So you can't question his commitment. You can't question his runs on the board. You can't question his passion. So it's not that bad of a selection. It really isn't.
It's really not. It's really not. I think it's just like one that goes, oh, okay, let's see how this goes. I think that's probably how everyone felt. Okay, sure, let's see how this goes. Mate, if he rips in and takes that passion you're talking about for rugby league and puts that into New South Wales, like, we might be onto a winner.
Well, so I think with Michael Maguire, I have no doubt that he could win a series because he's such a passionate... Like, what he did with the Rabbitohs to get them up for those 2 years, especially that second, you could see that it was like all chips in kind of stuff. Like, we are going all the way. I guess my judgment would be, can he have sustained success? And I'm not sure. But what I do know for sure is I do think he is capable of getting a New South Wales team up for a series win.
He needs to get us up for a win next year, and then we can start talking about other shit.
Yeah, fair. That's
Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise it's fucking 3 in a row, and then we start to get PTSD again. Like, well, let's just stop the bleeding.
That's a fair point. Maybe I'm looking too far down the track here.
Do you know what I mean? I think we just fucking win next season.
Yeah, that's a good point. And
then we can talk.
Because like what I'm really, and look, it's still only 2 series in. I think a lot of people forget as well. Billy Slater is in the same position Freddie was in when he started.
Correct.
And look how quickly everyone turned on Freddie, and people forget what he did at the start. But what I do like about what Billy does is it does seem like a recipe for sustained success. The way he handles certain things, selections, the way he gets players motivated isn't hyper aggression, like fuck, let's kill him kind of thing. It's very methodical, very Storm-like, to be honest.
Yes.
And that's what's really exciting for Queensland, is that it's not going to be like, oh, we're going to get them all the way up here, and then the next year they're going to be all the way down there. It does seem like there'll be but I mean, we'll see.
We will see.
I actually felt really sorry for Michael Maguire at the end of the Tigers situation, and I think he's been vindicated with how that club is going right now.
100%.
So I actually am, a Queenslander, obviously I want to win, but as a Michael Maguire, I don't know the guy. I've actually never met him. But as a person, I actually want success for him because of how poorly I think it was handled for him at the Tigers, and I'm fucking sorry I felt for him. So I hope he goes well.
We'll see. We will see. We will see fucking soon.
Yeah. Jeez. It's a tough gig, man, that New South Wales coaching role.
It's like, mate, I tell you what, though.
If you want a bloke that can handle it,
there will be fucking blood in the streets if we don't win next year. Like I can already see it. This is a big.
Well, look,
sort of a coaching choice for him.
Ironically, if there's one person that is tried and true being under a fucking shitstorm of media, it's Michael Maguire.
That's true.
He did it for like 2 years.
Yeah, he did.
So he's actually the perfect candidate.
He's actually come in battle hardened.
Fucking, he's
because
seen it all.
The media got to Freddie. Look what they did to him in 5 years.
You know,
well, it's not even 5 years because he won the first two.
Yeah.
Look what they did to him in 3 years.
Yeah, or even 2. Because heading into this series, it was a fucking shit fight for Freddie.
Well, yeah, he won one. Yeah, in 2 seasons, the media completely fucking destroyed him. Really.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm obviously not happy that Freddie, felt so not keen that he quit. But I'm so happy because I can't wait to have just the Freddie that I love back in media.
Yeah,
he was honestly top 3 media personalities. And I say was like he is no longer, but I just felt like that extra stress, you could see it sometimes, understandably so. I can't wait to he's a legend.
I think it became, you could see it always.
Yeah. And I'm happy, like, I can't wait to see him happy just enjoying rugby league again. Like, I seriously cannot wait for that.
It's a good point you make about Michael Maguire though, and the media, because the New South Wales media around Origin is fucking ruthless.
He may as well walk out,
like worst in class.
He may as well walk out first press conference and go, just fucking do it all now, boys.
Yeah,
do it all now. Say everything you want to say now.
Give
please.
it to me.
And then if I come around the next press conference, we're punching on. You should say that.
Yeah.
You should go, look, first press conference, you can say whatever you want.
Put the gloves on.
Second one,
yeah, gloves on.
We're fighting.
Gloves on.
I like that.
Gloves on.
That'd be a great approach.
Yeah.
Because journos would be a bit like
Ricky Stewart style.
Yeah, Ricky
Put the gloves on. Put the fucking gloves on, mate. Have a crack.
So look, I think that it's.
Listen, you know what? I've got to love it. What else am I going to do?
Well, it's not bad. Like
it's
really
not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And I'd be saying, Nathan, put your fucking head down, bruh, and study this off season, and you come up with something for us next year.
Bring it in.
Come up with a game plan.
First,
because you've won 3 premierships in a row now, mate. Are you starting? Are you 26 next year, or 26 this year, 27 next year?
Pretty much retired.
I'm like, you're now you're basically ripe as fuck now.
Yeah.
And we need results.
I think
so. You go out there and win a season for us, and I'll fucking buoy the boys. Love it.
First point of call is to make Cleary captain, in my opinion.
Yes.
And just say, mate, your team.
No, 100%.
Your team.
No. Listen, if Tedesco's captain next year, I'll eat my hat.
Okay.
I'll eat it.
Okay, clip her up.
Surely not.
No.
He
has a reason to now. He's a new coach too, so he has
the captaincy.
Got to be Cleary.
Was given to him for the fucking World Cup, or not the World Cup, for this like little Tri Nations thing we're doing at the end of the year as like a farewell, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Teddy is a champion.
Madge not afraid to make those tough calls as well.
Tedesco can't be in the side.
The only problem
is
Madge doesn't have a history with captaincy. Didn't he make like 5 captains in 1 year?
Oh yeah.
So he might be.
But he's
got
got such an obvious captain.
I know.
It's like it's beyond obvious.
I'm joking.
No, but I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to make myself feel better about it.
Could you imagine if he rolled out the 5 captains? He won't. It'll be Cleary. Now, store shout-outs. The Hill Bar and Kitchen in Gerringong. Josh and Connor have got a few kegs of the lager. Get down and try us on tap. That's the Hill Bar and Kitchen in Gerringong. Lake Illawarra Hotel have a keg of lager on tap. The proceeds of this are going to Illawarra Convoy, which is on the 19th of November. Get into some Bloke on Tap and support a good cause. That's Lake Illawarra Hotel. And the proceeds of this are going to the Illawarra Convoy. That's the 19th of November. Terrigal Hotel. These guys are stocked up on both meaty and lager. Treat yourself over the weekend. And Womburl Wines. Chris and the team are loaded up. Yeah, if you're in town, swing by at Womburl Wines. Speaking of the Tigers. Speaking of them Tigers. They thought the grass was greener with hot boy Alex Twal. They thought, you know what? We don't value you. We don't appreciate you. We want your Gonskis, bruh. And then all of a sudden, they saw all the attention he got from other clubs. And they thought, you know what? We want to keep you. Want to keep you. Now, that's not exactly what happened. But basically, long story short.
Essentially.
Long story short, they said he's got permission to leave. And then now they've said, no, they want to keep him.
And they've officially signed him as of 10 minutes ago.
What?
They've officially signed him as of 10 minutes ago. So it's official.
They signed him?
Like re-signed him. They've just announced it.
Wait. But he was under contract for next year.
Yeah, they've signed him till 27.
So they've given him an extra year.
Yeah.
A couple of years. There you go. It's good stuff.
That's like
2027. Yep.
Tigers.
Oh my fucking.
What's going on over there?
What?
So we want you to leave, or you're free, which is, listen, go and shop yourself around is akin to fuck off. That's what that means. You're free to look means fuck off, mate. That's what it means. He goes out to market and people go, you know what? There's room in outside for a clubman. Because clubmen boys.
They boys.
You know what I mean? Clubmen make the fucking club go round, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's like the janitor. You don't see what they're doing, but everything's clean.
Well, I'll
because
give you
of
an
them.
example. There's a guy called Middo at the Broncos. He's more of a Broncos than me. He's never even played a game. Because he's around, he's not even in the squad, but he's always been there helping out, packing things up, organising things. He was the bloke that picked up the spoons a few years ago.
Heart and soul sort of
That's
stuff.
heart and soul shit.
That's what I'm talking about. And some of the Tigers have realised, Jesus Christ, maybe we do need a clubman. Maybe we do need a clubman. And here we are. They've re-signed him. I wonder if that was because there was sort of a disharmony between Sheens, Benji, you know? Like,
And what is like Benji stepped in and said, hang on a sec.
well, because it seems strange to me that someone gets re-signed for an extra, 3 years or 2 years, 5, 6, 3 years.
A massive deal.
If he was unwanted fucking 2 seconds ago.
And like, okay, so was it not true? But then why didn't Tigers come out and deny it and say, no, we want...
No,
Florida
I
State?
think it was true. I think there's just like too many chefs in the kitchen, so to speak.
My God.
What else makes sense?
What the hell? Oh, I'll tell you what, they made the right decision. Hey, sometimes we go strange ways.
Yeah.
They go strange ways, but at least they made the right call.
They've made the right call. It could have been far easier. You've taken a bumpy route, so to speak.
What about Alex
Take
Toll's
the
last
scenic
couple of
road.
weeks? He's gone from, oi, brah, all that effort you've put in the last few years, we don't want you, to, oh, here's a 3-year upgrade, and you're already re-signed for next year. So we didn't even need to do it right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
Holy
And I tell you how you know it's true, because everything that gets leaked out of the Tigers always is.
It's true. So much so, a day before this dropped, Stefano's come out and said, could we please stop leaking stuff to the media? And then a day later, it gets leaked that Twal has no longer, like, they've backflipped on their idea of letting him go.
When one of your players has to come out like begging people,
22-year-old too.
22-year-old begging people to stop leaking stuff to the media, what does that say? What does that say?
Look, okay, let's look at the positives.
A leakier ship there has never been.
Let's go glass half full. It looks like Benji has said, nah, bruh, that's not happening on my watch.
Clearly.
And gone, he's staying at the club. So positive is, it looks as like Benji has the final say. Put down kind of stuff.
You would have to think that that's what's happening.
Surely Benji's gone, bro, I've been a part of clubs for fucking the last 20 years. I need boys that boys.
He'll get it. If anyone was going to get it, it'd be Benji.
It'd be fucking Benji. So that's glass half full that you finally got a guy in Benji that's going to go, nah, bruh, I know about boy and boys.
Yep.
And he's a boyer.
Yep. You can't win the comp without boys.
You
It can't be done.
can't.
Literally can't be done.
Like Penrith essentially have fucking 13 or
But
17
let
boys.
me put it this way: if you don't have boys, who's going to boy the boys?
Exactly. They're just going to be boys.
They'll just be boys without like boyless boys who haven't been buoyed.
You think that Penrith ran out to that grand final without being buoyed?
Is that what you reckon?
They were buoyed within the inch of their fucking lives.
You reckon they came back 24-8 boyless? Is that what you're going to fucking try and tell me? I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so.
either. I mean, yeah.
Biggest crock of shit I've ever heard.
Now, apparently, Manly tried to get a swap deal with Twal Kepi. Kepi ended up signing with South, which put an end to it. Anyway, long story short, Twal will remain at the club. So, yes, very strange how we got there, but the right thing has happened.
It's the right thing.
The
It's
right thing has happened. He worked his ass off.
Celebrate Tigers fans.
Also, more Tigers news.
It's just, God's be good.
Look, would rugby league exist without the Tigers?
I tell you, I give you the fucking hot tip, Denon. The riots deal, the increase in pay for the players, the attention, bums on seats, as a big part to do with the Tigers.
They're almost like the Kalen Ponga of getting bums on seats, but for clubs.
They're like an off-season scandal, not a bad one, like a put your dick in a schooner glass type situation.
Yeah.
That just gets eyeballs and puts articles in papers, and
It keeps the industrial complex of rugby league going.
just keeps things spinning, keeps things churning. That's the Tigers, because if there's a slow news day, there's never a slow news day at the Tigers.
They just ring fucking the Tigers and go, "Oh, you got anything going on?"
Yeah, and then they go, "Oh yeah, we're trying to sack the fucking chairman." Fucking perfect.
Thanks, bruh.
Thanks, bruh.
Speak to you next week.
Mate, the journos all better be on their knees for the Tigers.
Oh, yeah.
Because you wouldn't have jobs, mate.
Oh, mate. The whole fucking industry would collapse.
We wouldn't have a job either.
Okay. Tigers reportedly after Bradman Best. This for me all just depends on how much you're paying him, really.
So you're after Bradman Best, are you? Origin
Tigers.
player.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Makes a bit of sense.
it's conflicting reports. Like at the Knights, initially before he went on this good run, they were like, "You're on too much money." The reports that we heard. Then there was like, "Oh, actually, we want to resign." So it's just you wonder whether is this the Bradman Best camp putting this out there to get the Knights to come to the table? Because like, why would Bradman Best want to leave? What's going on? The Knights?
He definitely wouldn't.
Unless it's either way more money or the Knights are just saying, "Sorry, bro, like."
There was a lot of belief in the Knights, though, and like you could just tell that they were fucking hot and horny.
Yeah.
And I reckon that if he obviously bought into that. So how much money do you need to get paid to leave that sort of situation?
Still so young
And he's
too.
so young.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was just some shrewd management.
Yeah. Surely the Knights are at least offering him like, $400 or $500K.
What are we
surely.
What are we worlds and worlds and worlds
Yeah.
away? Surely
Yeah.
not.
Whereas like the Tigers couldn't be offering him more than, I hope not more than like
6?
Seven.
7?
7 because they're struggling. But the reports were 8.
That's too much money.
That's way too much money. I wouldn't pay, trying to think, any centre $800K, I don't think. You just can't. I know the salary cap's gone up, so maybe you can. But I'm just trying to think of, like, okay, let's say Joey Marnie, for example. He's the best centre in the game, a lot of people think. I know he didn't win it this year. But do they impact the game enough to be paid $800,000?
Would you pay Latrell $800 post centre? That's what he got offered at the Roosters and he left.
I think yes, because
My
he
memory
wanted
serves.
to play fullback.
But I'm just saying.
He apparently knocked that back. Latrell, I might make an exception because it's like he is an exception.
Yes.
He is an exception.
Well, he's
to
an
every fucking
exception to the rule.
Yeah.
But
he-
generally speaking, you don't pay centres $800,000. It's an absurd amount of money.
What about Val? What about Val Holmes?
that's a tough one because he brings so much experience for him, and you saw how much they fell off when he got suspended.
With
And
this new increase in cap, yeah, you probably would.
I tell you what, I would pay the best of the best, maybe with the increase, not with the old cap, but they have to be able to play wing centre.
That's what I was about.
Sorry, wing
fullback.
fullback.
Yeah. They've got to be versatile.
Because if they just play centre, it's
Because
like,
there's always injuries and shit.
Yeah.
You need to be able to move them around. If they're just like out and out centre, out and out.
just out and out.
If they're just out and out,
Yep.
big call.
Stefano says he wants to sign long term, but wants the club to stop leaking news. And Lee hung on.
Well, listen, I can promise you this: Stefano won't be signing a long term deal. There's no way.
Oh man. So Lee, the chairman of the Tigers, re-elected
Litigious Lee.
Litigious Lee, re-elected.
That's us.
But then a week later, it came out they reportedly, allegedly,
Yep.
they want him to give up his SEN deal, and he won't do it. So that's what reportedly they're frustrated with, that he speaks to the media so much. It's
So
just,
his SEN deal is what?
I think he just speaks to them
He's
all
just
the
on
time.
it once a week or something.
Once a
Oh,
week.
he goes on there.
Yeah, and he just yarns about the going-ons of the club.
Oh, and they want him to stop.
It would be a little bit difficult as a coach when you're like, bruh, could I just like I get that it's good that the fans know what's going on, but at the same time, like, I'm a coach. I'm trying to get stuff done here.
Yeah.
It's extra pressure I don't need.
Well, he does a pod. Oh, no, that's Pasco. Pasco does the podcast.
Oh, you're sitting down. Was it sitting down with Ask the CEO or something?
Ask the CEO, something like that. It's a great name. It's a great name. There's a couple. I think there's might be some people in the C-suite, as they call it, who need to just fucking,
Just chill.
just
For a little bit at least. Get some, a little bit.
just a little bit.
And then you can,
Maybe less podcasts, less fucking radio gigs, and more. Let's run the club. More club running.
Speaking of great speeches all time, or great communication to the audience all time. Did you watch Ivan Cleary's chat or his speech, Penrith Panthers speech?
I haven't seen the whole thing. I
watched literally the whole thing. It's on YouTube. It's
Fuck yeah.
It's fucking so good, mate. Because you know how he's so reserved usually?
Well, you don't hear much out of him.
You don't hear much out of him, but you get a real good insight. And I thought it was really interesting that, first of all, he is still stinging from that Melbourne Storm loss a few years ago. And he even made a joke of
in the grand final.
In the grand final.
Yeah.
It's like, they taught us the lesson, but, we feel like we've got, and then he was saying things like, he would be like, in the middle of a speech, he'd be like, when we lost to X club, and then the audience would laugh, and he'd go, why are you laughing? That's how much he hates losing. And you can go and watch it. It's a really interesting
it's
watch.
losses are serious. They're not to
He's
be
like,
laughed about.
why is all laughing? And then the audience is like, oh, okay. And so every time he heard a laugh when he talked about losing, he would be like, why are you laughing? And it was like, hey, bro, we just won our third premiership. But that's what makes him so great. You can see it. So go and watch that speech on YouTube, Penrith Panthers YouTube. Really, really good insight into. I mean, he is.
Love that.
He is walking into territory of one of the best coaches we've seen.
Oh,
of the modern era.
Mate. And again, I don't know how many times I need to say this. They're a fucking almighty sniff for 4.
It's crazy. It's fucking.
And then
mental.
you can start thinking about 5. They're fucking unbelievable.
It's almost
Their system is absurd. They've got the best fucking player in the game, and their defense is just ridiculous. Yeah. And that's how you win the fucking things.
Crazy. Quick store shout-outs. Club Hotel Chinchilla. Pop into a huge drive-through for some bloke beers. Mal and the team are now stocking in all of the bottle marts in Chinchilla. That's right, we are in all bottle marts in Chinchilla. Hotel Marraboon. Supercellers Drive in Emerald. Ask Jesse for some bloke out west. That's Hotel Marraboon in Supercellers drive-through. The Club Hotel. Big celebrations. Superstore. Haley's got you sorted in Roma. Red Beret Hotel. Dave and the crew always carry bloke beers in Cairns and Lillywhite hotels. Get in your celebration stores in Bowl, Bushland Beach, Precinct, and Mount Stewart for bloke lager in Townsville. Huge news. Dylan Edwards has made his way into the Kangaroos team, and he will play on the pick and swing wing against Samoa.
Good on him.
Great stuff.
This is a feel-good story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is you know what? How good's rugby league sort of story.
Yeah.
Dill Edwards, fucking great player. A lot of people go, geez, I feel sorry for him because there's a chance he doesn't get any rep honours.
Yep.
And here we are. Guy's getting a fucking jersey. Love it. Put him on the sting. He'll do a job.
He'll do a job.
Fucking oath he
I reckon
will.
he'll kill it.
Yeah, he'll kill it.
Because he's runs out of dummy half a heck.
No, he'll kill it. He'll be rock solid.
I cannot wait to see him play. Good.
Doesn't mind a high ball.
Doesn't mind a high ball. Loves to roll the sleeves up. He almost is sleeveless at times, but it's just his sleeves are all the way rolled up.
Yeah, no, because exactly. Common misconception common mistake people make in regards to Dylan Edwards.
Like, is he wearing a singlet? Or?
People think he's playing in a fucking singlet. He's not. He's got his sleeves rolled up. Doing a job.
Doing a fucking job.
And I just look at Dylan Edwards and I go, that bloke loves his country.
Oh.
Don't you reckon?
Fucking oath he loves his country.
You can just tell.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Just normally hearing the anthem, he has to hold tears back. Just normally.
Have a look at Dill. I reckon they might be a bit watery.
What, $1.20 to water?
Jeez, it's short.
Very short.
I reckon he's short. I'm not tall. I don't think you'll be sobbing, but I think there might be a tear.
Could you imagine if you're like, you know what's funny?
If there's not a tear, there'll be a glint.
You know what's funny about anthem is that we see a bloke or a Sheila crying and we're like, yeah, fucking oath, you love the country. But if they sobbed, you'd be like, listen, bro, I love your passion.
Yep.
But I don't want you to be unmanned or unwomaned by the moment.
Listen, there's a job to do.
There's a fucking
There's
job.
still a job to do. And you're sobbing.
All the crowd sobbing.
It's like, well, it's the same as, you get emotional at your own wedding, right? But you don't sob because that's uncouth.
That is super uncouth. And
it's
also,
like, get it together, mate.
If you need to carry this family out of a burning building, I can't have you sobbing.
Yeah, what, you're going to sob your way in and out? I don't think so. You won't be able to see where you're going. I need you sharp between the ears. So I'm allowing tears.
Yeah.
Glints, tears.
Glints, tears.
Crying, not sobbing.
No sobbing. If you're sniffing like that,
no.
You're doing that.
Like you've been winded.
If I was a woman, I'd turn around and walk out.
Nah, it's fucking gross, mate. And it'll give me the ick. So no sobbing.
If that was my daughter, I would be like, stop.
Nah. Yeah, has anyone got any objections? I do.
I fucking do.
That bloke's sobbing up there and it's fucked.
How's he going to protect me daughter if the world ends?
No, he's weak.
He's sobbing.
Well, because his emotions got the better of him.
Exactly, which
and
is
that's
nothing-
what sobbing is.
I don't look.
Crying isn't. Crying's
Crying is
nice
fine.
release.
There's nothing wrong with if you're gonna sob, that's fine. Just do it privately.
Even still.
Look, whatever you do by yourself, I'm not gonna
Well,
encroach.
I won't know. I won't know.
I won't encroach. I won't know.
Yeah.
If a tree falls and I wasn't there, it doesn't matter. Tears, love it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Glenn, beautiful. Glenn's great too, but sobbing on your knees
Nah.
when you
Not
get
for
married,
me. Not for me.
Not
So
for me.
that's the only word of warning I'll give to Dill as he makes his debut against Samoa. Good on you, bro.
And
He's
don't
done
sob.
it.
And what would you do if you, as the anthem was playing, he was doing this, rolling his sleeves up?
Probably have a wank.
Oh, how good. Geez, you've got some throbbers in that back line. Tony.
Where our side's too good. It's just it'll change over time, I think, as the islands get stronger and stronger. But for now, there's only one sheriff in town. Let's be honest. Let's be fair dinkum. One single sheriff.
I saw a tip saying Samoa would win the whole thing.
No.
So Samoa.
No, I can't see how that's possible.
So Samoa, Fa'alongo, he is going to be at number one. If you want to watch a player, a throbber of the future, watch the fullback for Samoa. But one of the interesting selections is Stephen Crichton at 6.
Who was picked by the great and the powerful rugby league Gurino, who just goes, eyeballed the squad and goes, geez, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, did he say?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Jeez, that's a good call.
He's fucking,
that's
he's
a great call.
fucking sharp between the ears, mate.
Jeez.
He is that sharp.
That's it.
Said it a couple of times.
What do you got there, Matty, or are you just holding on?
No, I was going to say the coach of Samoa is the Penrith assistant. So he's been with Critter for the whole year.
So there's been a lot of backlash, quotation. I don't understand the backlash. Like, we're talking about a throbber that has played centre, wing. We know his defence is outstanding. We don't need him to be fucking Joey Johns with the ball.
No.
You just needed him to tackle really well,
Yeah.
boy the boys,
And truck a bit.
and truck a bit of nut on the edges there. You think Critter couldn't do that?
He's a great defensive player, and he could fucking chuck seed.
He's
and
one of the best-
He can throw a nut. What are we talking
I know if
about?
he can throw a nut. And he's one of the best defensive outside backs in the comp. And his short kicking game, fucking ask Broncos how good that is.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's a fucking joke.
He had on a fucking string mate.
It's a stretch even calling it a short kicking game because he was kicking it from 35, 40
Yeah,
out.
I know. And getting him cherry right.
He was like Renault kicking.
Yeah.
It was fucking unbelievable.
At like the most critical part of the whole season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
Still behind, and getting it right. Unbelievable.
I will say that with the Samoa side, one selection I am surprised at, Tuolangi on the wing and Tonomapea in centre. I would have gone, unless he's injured, apologies if he's injured, I would have gone Marju on the wing and I would have gone Tuolangi in the centres.
They haven't picked Greg.
Unless he's injured, but not in this starting side, no.
Interesting, because he's had one of the great seasons.
One of the best. Now,
And he's
maybe
a fucking handful.
he is a fucking rugby league, national and international handful.
Correct.
And so that's what
Because
surprised
he was
me.
in the squad. Definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely in the squad. Surely, could you check? I'm pretty sure he's in the squad.
No, he's definitely in the squad. But
And I understand the idea that
They would have
Tonomapea...
picked him if he was injured, right?
Yeah, true. Tonomapea, I get it. He's a specialist centre, but surely Tuolangi can get a job done. He played a little bit during the year. I know he had some defensive lapses, but Tonomapea in the squad for sure.
For sure. No, I would have started Greg, 100%.
It's like, I just think Greg's fucking so good.
Especially his form, like the back end of the year, it was unbelievable.
Mate, I think he averaged the most tries per game of any winger in the comp. So, yeah. Really interested to see Keenan Palacia. Titans fans watch this closely. Obviously, Broncos player. He is starting at 13. So that's going to be interesting to see him start at 13. But this forward pack, Stefano, Paulo, Leilua, Lemuelu, and Palacia. Ooh, young, hot, and horny. Except for Paulo, obviously, he's a bit older. What about the fights?
I didn't actually watch them.
you watch them?
I didn't watch them.
Mate, they're fun. Like, this idea that, like, they've got to be fucking Floyd Mayweather. I just like him as a boxer, not outside the ring. Like,
Listen. It doesn't...
just enjoy it.
What are you talking about? They're not boxers. They're just blokes having a throw.
They're just throwing down.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Leaguey's fighting has always been good for the soul.
It's always great. It's a balm. The season's ended, guys, and you've got no rugby league. What's better than seeing rugby league throw punches at each other?
That's right.
And everyone always says, bring back the biff, but then when they get in the ring, you don't like him anymore.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
It's two camps. Bring back the biff camp,
Yep.
or I just don't want to see rugby league players fight.
Yeah, that's right. Saturday night, the big day had its claws into me,
Mate.
So I missed it.
Oh, fair point. Fair point.
You know what I mean? I was celebrating the greatest rose of all time. Listen, I had
A reason.
a scheduling conflict.
Scheduling clash. But Junior Paulo as Benny Hannett, first of all, massive props to Benny Hannett for getting in there because everyone knows how good Junior Paulo is.
Ben Hannett is a warrior.
He's a warrior. And so is bloody Jared Wallace going against Nelson Asafa-Solomona.
You got to have rocks in your head, mate. Like Nelson is...
He's a super heavyweight. He's 30 kilos bigger.
Is he the biggest man in rugby league?
Yeah, for sure.
Easily.
For sure.
Fucking enormous.
I think he's 30 kilos more than...
30 kilos.
Like 20 to 30 kilos more than Jared Wallace. He's huge. He's 130-something kilos.
Mate, you go and pick up 15-kilo dumbbells and just walk around.
Oh.
Just walk around the house.
And, like, he actually can box too. Like, as in, for a footy player, he knows how to throw a punch. His father, I think, was a boxer as well. Within the first 30 seconds against Jared Wallace, he tries to put his head down and drive in. Nelson just goes, Doska, massive uppercut. Something goes flying. I think it's a tooth, but I haven't heard confirmation on that. And Wallace gets back up. He keeps trucking nut and just getting, mate.
See, that's not my cup of tea.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like that's not how I'd like to spend my time.
Yeah.
Fighting Nelson.
Yeah, no.
Couldn't think anything worse.
What do you got there,
Some
matey?
people love it though.
I don't think these numbers are all too correct. It says Nelson's 115 and Wallace is 111.
Nelson's not 115.
There's no way.
There's no way. Because on
how
the
would
night,
that be possible? What's he like 6'8"?
200 centimeters.
And 115, you reckon? I don't think so.
And Wall is maybe 6'1", being generous.
Yeah, I don't trust these numbers.
Yeah, and also when he was walking out, it said, I'm pretty sure it said 130 kilos. But yeah, the Junior Paulo, so he basically drops Benny Hannett, and I don't know why the ref they didn't throw the towel in, because then he just got flogged for another 30 seconds.
It's too tough.
Too tough for his own good.
He doesn't give a shit either.
Oh,
he loves
man.
it.
So massive credit to all the boys that got and had a fight. Really enjoyable. Taumalolo versus RCG. RCG can move. He had great style. Great style. I thought I was surprised at how natural RCG looked. Like, man, he was great. He beat Taumalolo.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah, he beat Taumalolo.
And he's had a couple of fights, Tamalolo.
I don't know if he's
was
had
that his first?
I think it's his first. But again, I think they just get in there for fun. Like, I don't think that they like sitting there going, I'm going to be the next fucking heavyweight champion. But yeah, great night of fights. Now, tips for the weekend: Australia versus Samoa. What are you going?
Australia.
By how much?
13 plus.
Man of the match?
Cherry Evans.
DCE. Matty, who you going?
Yeah, Aussies by a lot, I reckon.
Ooh.
Yeah, I reckon it could be.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say Aussies by 18. And I'll go Munster.
All right, I'm going Aussies 13 plus, and man of the match. I'm just going to go Dylan Edwards because the romance of it all. You know,
Imagine if he went out and scored like 3 tries, 4 tries, just dominated.
I just want to get a part of the romance.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. That's fair. That's a fair call.
PNG versus Cook Islands.
PNG, they would be heavy favourites, wouldn't they?
PNG 13 plus. I'm going.
Yeah, me too.
100%. Cook Islands are they have a whole lot of depth.
Man of the match, Lockie Lamb. Man of the match, Lockie Lamb. Now, reports coming out today that Eddie Jones set to quit the Wallabies and sign with Japan to be their head coach. Now, these are just reports that have come out. Now, as
Strong reports,
and to be honest, we spoke about this. I'm not sure if I spoke about it on the show, but you know, when he lost that massive game and he started talking like, look, if the board want to review me and they don't want me going forward, I was like, mate, he is angling to get I guess, brushed so that he can take a role. Now, he denied that there was ever an interview for Japan, but now there's reports coming out saying that he's told Australian rugby that there is an offer from Japan that he hasn't taken yet along those lines.
Mate, the reports are coming out is that he's going to fucking coach Japan. Like, we can get bogged down in the bullshit all we want, but that's what they've been reported, and I'm fucking choosing to believe it, if I can be quite honest with you. There were reports that he'd met with Japan, right, which was already fucking highly suspicious given he only took the job 6 months ago. Why is he meeting with Japan? And he wouldn't be meeting with Japan. Japan wouldn't have even met with him unless he'd reached out to them saying, would you be interested in me coaching you? There's no meeting with Eddie Jones from Japanese rugby if he's fucking signed for the Wallabies for 4 years.
We don't just run each other in the street and go, oh, by the way, would you like to coach our country?
Japan wouldn't go, okay, sign with Australia for 4 years. Let's go see if he wants to coach after 3 months. What are we talking about? Of course that didn't happen. So he's reached out. First fucking red flag. Yeah. Second one is he wouldn't deny it in a press conference. Someone was like, are you going to be here next year? And he wouldn't answer the question. He wouldn't say, yes, 100% I will be. He didn't say that. Kept being like, talking in cryptics and codes and all that bullshit. So, again, alarming. Then this report comes out that he's going to Japan. I choose to believe it for those former reasons. Like, if you add them all up, it makes sense. He's a traitor. People called him a traitor when he came out here coaching England the last couple of times, and he fucking hated it. And now it's pretty much true, though.
I cannot believe that a guy would take this huge contract. Basically, we get rid of Dave Rennie.
Yep.
We get rid of him. He's offered this massive contract
apparently $4 million over 4 years
by a game that is gasping its last dying breath in this country.
Yeah, it's on the way out.
Then he comes into a World Cup, basically doesn't select the older players, to my understanding, and goes in with the excuses of, I'm trying to build for the future.
Selected young unknowns, generally.
Then we go to the World Cup. We have our worst World Cup in history. And
we lose to Fiji.
They beat us for the first time ever. Then on top of that, before he went to World Cup, reportedly talking to Japan. Look, whether he had a meeting or didn't have a meeting, he was clearly talking to him in some capacity.
He had a meeting with him.
Like, whether he did or he didn't.
But just before a World Cup, even though you've just signed a 4-year deal.
Disgraceful. Like, actually disgraceful.
And when we sacked Dave Rennie, we would have had to pay him out to get fucking Eddie Jones.
And look, I don't mind if you don't have a job with Australian rugby and you feel you want to coach another country, that's okay. That's okay. What I have an issue with is you are the coach of Australia and you are literally interviewing or thinking about taking head coaching roles of other countries. That is absolutely disgraceful. And to do that to a game, think about the damage that's going to do to the game if he does leave and goes to Japan. Like, okay, who's the next head coach? All those players that didn't make the World Cup, are they back in? Like, think about the damage this guy's going to do. And I'm sure he's going to run if he does leave, he's going to run the excuses of, I was promised this, I was promised this. Look,
it's exactly what he'll do. He'll come in and say it was an absolute shit show. I was promised X, Y, Z. I was told that the situation was different than it was. Bullshit. You could have got on the blower to fucking plenty of people that would have known the truth about Australian rugby, and I'm sure you did.
Yeah, but you got paid a lot of coin to come and do this. On top of that, okay, there were certain things that you might have been promised. Were you paid your full wage this whole time? I'm pretty sure he probably was paid his full wage this whole time. So in 6 months, you are already willing to go, you know what? I don't have the want to stick it out and help Australian rugby. So you've given up after 6 months.
And we've got a World Cup here. Yes, the next World Cup's in Australia. Like, there was a plan in place. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing that's frustrating is he's like, well, I'm planning for the future. I'm planning for the next World Cup. That's why I'm having all these young guys and give them experience. Like, and then to just bail.
Insane. Like, the damage that he's done to rugby that's already on its knees. Like, it probably can barely afford to pay him his friggin' contract.
Well, if he loses, they won't have to pay him out, obviously.
And so the fact that he has even got offers on the table is disgraceful.
Is because he's gone looking for
Exactly.
it. He would have said to himself, fuck this, can't be bothered. Japanese rugby were good to me. I enjoyed my time over there. And he would have got on the blower. But the worst part is he's done it after like 6 months. He can come out and say, I was promised the X, Y, and Z. Well, how much time did you give it?
6 months.
It feels to me like he reached out to Japanese rugby months after getting the job.
Well, it had to be. Because the World Cup started, a month ago?
Yeah.
So you basically... For that to all come together, you'd have to say at least in month 4, at least, of his contract, he was sending feelers out.
When did he sign for Australian rugby? Like March?
It is disgraceful. It is, as I said, if you feel you want to coach another country whilst you're not under contract with Australian rugby, fair enough. That's everyone's decision. I personally, I don't know what I would do, but that's whatever. Reaching out to other countries whilst you're the head coach of Australia
going to a World Cup
is actually disgraceful.
He was reappointed in January.
All right, so he would have reached out to them, let's say September, 9 months in. What are we, October? No, I'm going to say August. I'm going to say 8.
So 8 months in.
7, 8 months.
We'll say 7 or 8 months he's starting to reach out. So you didn't even give it 12 months to see. Look, if it was 2.5, 3 years in, and then he started saying, look, it's been 3 years, I haven't been given what I promised, I've tried as hard as I can, maybe you could understand. But this bizarre way that it's been gone about, where you know, he's almost, like the conspiracy in me feels like it's almost as if he's angling to get sacked so that he could take another role because he's realised how much of a shit show Australian rugby is. Like,
well, you should have done your due diligence,
I know,
mate.
exactly.
Like, don't you have any? You don't care at all?
Crazy.
Fucking unbelievable. Great, one of the great traders of all time.
Like, I just cannot believe
It's right up there.
that a game on its knees.
On its no, it's not even on its knees. It's on its deathbed.
It's on its deathbed. You agree to millions of dollars from them,
That they don't have.
That they don't have, and you're basically its savior. So at the very least, if he just let's say he tries to trot out, I was promised all these things. Let's say he trots that out. If you stayed and did your job, you're guaranteed. So you're not doing this out of a favour for a rugby union. It's not like you're coming back saying, you know what, rugby's given me so much, I'm going to come and help Australian rugby. No, you're getting paid millions of dollars. So if he just stayed and did his job, he would get millions of dollars for it. But you're, I guess, so selfish and don't care about the game that you want to go, you know what, this place is fucked. I'm out of here.
Why'd you take the job?
Craziness.
He would have known it was fucked when he signed.
It's craziness. I cannot believe
I know. I have nothing to do with Rugby Australia. But I can use my fucking common sense and go, the place looks like it's fucked at the moment. Pretty obvious.
I feel so sorry for Rugby Australia.
You can't take the money and then fuck off because it wasn't to your liking when you should have known and you would have known what you were getting yourself
Because, like,
into.
worst case, what it looks like is you just use Australia as a stepping stone to get a job that you wanted.
That's exactly what it looks like. And leverage.
And leverage as well.
Be like, well, if you want to get me from Australia, you might need to
crazy
bump it up.
Craziness. Like, and talk about, again, you know, Rugby Australia has given him so much. Like, look at his career, look how far he's come, and you can't even stay for a bit longer to try and revive the game in this country after everything that, you know, you've been given by the game of rugby.
And if you weren't prepared to do that, why take the job?
Exactly. It's just, oh man, I cannot believe it. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
It's the worst possible fucking thing that could have happened.
And look, if it's all not true and he sticks around, then
no, mate. Shit like this coming out it never goes the other way.
Yeah, mate. It's just.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe Alex Twal.
Maybe Alex Twal. You know what? Maybe we're in an Alex Twal situation.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't.
Okay. Well, look. Anyway, it's disgraceful. Like, I cannot believe that the head coach of Rugby Australia, while the game is dying, would like, the thing is, would even be fielding offers. That's the thing.
No.
Let alone take one.
No. But it's not even fielding them. It's taking them. It's fielding them. But it's also asking for them. He's gone looking, and then denied it, but also not denied it, and then made out like we're all idiots.
Yeah, like, and the audacity to say the press is being too negative.
Yeah, and exactly, and everyone going, "Oh, fucking give yourself uppercuts!" Like, we're going to go over and prove everyone wrong and win the World Cup and beat New Zealand. Like, you're just all you were talking shit the whole time,
and not even a good dribbler, a shit dribbler.
Just the worst stint I've ever seen all sports.
And what I don't get is, does he
name a worse stint?
Well, does he plan to eventually live in Australia? Everywhere he goes,
I know
he'll be remembered as that guy.
Mate, it's fucking unbelievable.
Oh my God. Anyway, before we go, maybe keep your shekels ready. In a few weeks, we may have reached out to the printers. We may have reached out to the shirt manufacturers.
Might have done a deal.
We might have done a deal. It maybe cost an arm and a leg. You haven't seen my legs yet. I might have literally given my leg for this, for you guys.
We might have done a deal for the punter and the dribbler.
So?
And the community. Couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks.
That's what we've been told. Couple of weeks.
Set your little shekels aside. Couple of weeks.
We've been told a couple of weeks.
Can't say more.
That's all we'll say. We've been told a couple of weeks.
I think that's us done and dusted.
Is that us?
That's us done and dusted. As usual, we'll go and fuck ourselves. Thank you.
Bye.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.